Jai-Ho Park stared at the blinking cursor on his computer screen, reading the strange email for the fifth time. His small apartment was quiet except for the gentle hum of his recording equipment. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows through his window, making the message seem even more mysterious. Dear Mr. Park, the email read, I've been following your ASMR channel. There's a house you need to visit. It holds sounds from different times. Perfect for someone like you who understands the power of subtle noises. Here are the directions. Jai-Ho took a sip of his cold coffee and leaned back in his chair. With 500,000 subscribers, he often got weird messages, but this one was different. Most people suggested abandoned hospitals or old schools. This person knew things about the house that weren't on any urban exploration websites. He opened his recording software and played back his latest video. The soft tapping of rain on an old umbrella had gotten him 100,000 views in just 2 days. His viewers loved unusual sounds, but they were getting harder to find. Every ASMR creator in Seoul was running out of unique locations. Hey, you got a minute? Jai-Ho called his friend Taiwan on video chat. The screen showed his friend's messy home office, filled with computer parts and star charts. For my favorite sound wizard. Always, Taiwan grinned, pushing his glasses up his nose. What's up? Jai-Ho shared the email. What do you think? Sounds like a trap. Taiwan's eyes moved quickly across the screen as he read. The address is real. It's that old mansion near the mountain. Rich family built it in the 1960s, then left suddenly. No one knows why. Perfect for ASMR then. Empty house, good acoustics, weird history. Jai-Ho was already checking his equipment list on his phone. Hold on, Taiwan typed something. The place has some strange reports. People hearing conversations in empty rooms. Music from decades ago. Even some weird lights. Jai-Ho's eyes lit up. Even better. Ghost hunting ASMR is trending right now. My viewers will love it. He started packing his gear. 3 high-sensitivity microphones, his best cameras, some LED lights, and backup batteries. The sun was setting, and night shoots always got more views. I don't know. Jai-Ho, Taiwan sounded worried. Something feels off about this place. The email too, who sends directions to a haunted house at 3 a.m. Someone who knows good content. Jai-Ho smiled, zipping up his bag. Besides, I'll be live streaming. If anything weird happens, we'll have plenty of witnesses. Taiwan sighed. Fine, but keep your phone on. I'll monitor the stream from here. First sign of trouble, I'm calling the police. Jai-Ho nodded, but his mind was already on the video title. Haunted Mansion, ASMR. Time-traveling sounds, not clickbait. His viewers would go crazy. The taxi dropped him off at the base of a narrow road winding up the mountain. The mansion sat against the darkening sky like a sleeping giant. Its windows were dark except for one on the top floor, which seemed to catch the last rays of sunlight. As Jai-Ho walked up the overgrown path, his microphone picked up something odd. He checked the readings on his phone. The background noise was different here. Not just quiet, but empty, like the air itself was holding its breath. Perfect, he whispered, setting up his tripod. His hands moved quickly, setting up equipment he'd used hundreds of times. But tonight felt different. The usual excitement of finding a new location was mixed with something else, something that made the hair on his neck stand up. The front door wasn't locked. It opened with a long, slow creak that would make excellent ASMR. Jai-Ho smiled, hitting the record button on his main camera. Hello everyone, he whispered into his microphone, using his best ASMR voice. Tonight, we're exploring somewhere special. A house that holds sounds from the past. Let's find out if the stories are true. He didn't notice the slight shimmer in the air behind him, like heat waves on a summer day. Nor did he see the brief flash of symbols that appeared on the doorframe as he stepped inside. Symbols that definitely weren't Korean or any other human language. The house had been waiting for someone like him. And now, the real show was about to begin. The inside of the mansion was surprisingly clean. Jaeho's flashlight beam showed no dust on the old wooden floors, which was strange for an abandoned house. His footsteps made soft tapping sounds that his microphones picked up perfectly. "Listen to these floors, everyone," he whispered to his live stream audience. "Such clear sounds, no creaking at all, almost like someone's been taking care of them." His phone buzzed. A message from Taiwan. "Stream quality perfect. 2,000 watching already, but something weird with the audio." Jaeho was about to reply when he heard it. Soft footsteps from upstairs. His heart beat faster, but he smiled. Ghost hunting ASMR was always better with mysterious sounds. "Did you hear that?" he whispered to his viewers. "Let's go check it out." As he turned toward the stairs, a voice spoke behind him. "Your equipment is quite impressive." Jaeho jumped, nearly dropping his camera. A woman stood there, wearing a neat black suit that looked too new for this dusty old place. She held a tablet-like device, but something about it looked off. The edges glowed slightly in the dark. "I'm Hannah Kim," she said, bowing slightly. "I study strange places like this. Your microphones, they're very sensitive, aren't they?" Jaeho nodded, trying to calm his racing heart. "Top of the line. Perfect for ASMR. But what are you doing here?" Hannah smiled, but her eyes kept moving to his microphones. "The same as you. Recording unusual sounds. This house is special. It catches echoes from different times." The live stream chat was going crazy. His viewers loved the mysterious woman's appearance. The view count jumped to 5,000. "Would you like to do an interview?" Jaeho asked. "My viewers would love to hear about the house's history." Hannah stepped closer, still studying his equipment. "Perhaps. But first, may I ask what frequencies your microphones can detect?" Another message from Taiwan flashed on Jaeho's phone. "Something's wrong with her voice. Running it through my audio software. Subtle harmonics that shouldn't be there." Jaeho looked more closely at Hannah. Her suit was perfect, too perfect, like it was drawn on. And her tablet didn't reflect light quite right. "The house has many stories," Hannah continued. "Some say it exists in multiple times at once, a place where past and present overlap." As she spoke, Jaeho's audio equipment began picking up strange sounds, whispers in unknown languages, mechanical hums that rose and fell in impossible patterns. His viewers were flooding the chat with questions. "Those sounds," Jaeho said carefully, "they're not from the past, are they?" Hannah's smile changed slightly. "You have good ears. Most humans, most people don't notice the differences." Jaeho's phone buzzed again. Taiwan had sent a sound analysis. "Not normal frequencies, same patterns as those weird radio signals from space I've been tracking." The air in the room felt different now. Heavier. Hannah's tablet glowed brighter, casting strange shadows on the walls. Shadows that moved in ways they shouldn't. "Your ASMR videos are fascinating," Hannah said, her voice taking on an odd echo. "We've been watching them. The way you humans use sound. It's not so different from how some cultures communicate." Jaeho gripped his microphone stand tighter. The live stream chat had gone quiet, everyone watching intensely. This was either the best or worst night of his career. "Who are you really?" he asked. "And what is this place?" Before Hannah could answer, a new sound filled the house. A deep, vibrating tone that made Jaeho's teeth hurt. His equipment readings went crazy, showing impossible numbers. Hannah looked worried for the first time. "Your devices, they're more powerful than we thought. They're interfering with the house's security systems." The walls around them began to shimmer like hot air on a summer day. Through his camera screen, Jaeho saw strange patterns appearing and disappearing on every surface. The haunted house wasn't haunted at all. It was something else entirely. And now, thanks to his ASMR equipment, Its true nature was about to be revealed. Jai-Ho's hands moved quickly over his equipment, adjusting settings as strange sounds filled the old mansion. His livestream viewer count had jumped to 15,000. Everyone wanted to know what was happening. "The frequencies are shifting," Hannah said, her tablet casting blue light across her worried face. "Your microphones, they're creating feedback with our systems." Through his headphones, Jai-Ho heard something that made him freeze. Voices, dozens of them, speaking in languages he'd never heard before. Some sounded almost like music, others like water or wind, but all of them had a pattern. They were talking to each other. "Listen to this," he whispered to his audience, turning up the volume on his stream. The strange voices became clearer. His chat exploded with comments. "Those aren't ghosts," he said, looking at Hannah. "They're conversations. Real ones. Happening right now, aren't they?" Hannah moved to a window, checking something on her tablet. "You weren't supposed to be able to hear them. Your technology shouldn't be advanced enough yet." The walls of the house continued to shimmer. Through his camera screen, Jai-Ho could see symbols and patterns flowing across every surface. They looked like moving stars and galaxies, but arranged in perfect geometric shapes. His phone buzzed constantly with messages from Taiwan. Signal patterns matched deep space recordings. Some of these sounds match radio waves from distant stars. "Jai-Ho, you're broadcasting alien QNVERSHJONs to the whole internet." The deep humming in the house grew stronger. Hannah's tablet flashed with red symbols. "We need to stop recording," she said firmly. "Now." Before. A new sound cut through everything else. A clear, sharp tone that made all of Jai-Ho's equipment light up at once. The sound formed words in his mind, even though he couldn't understand the language. "Status report," it seemed to say. "Security breach detected." Hannah spoke quickly into her tablet, but her voice had changed. It had layers now, tones that human voices couldn't make. "Observer, Hannah reporting. Situation contained. Local human recording equipment more sensitive than expected." Jai-Ho kept his camera steady, even though his hands were shaking. "You're not studying the paranormal, are you? This isn't a haunted house at all." "No," Hannah admitted. "It's a listening post. We monitor Earth's development from here. The haunted house story keeps people away. Usually." The livestream chat was moving so fast now that Jai-Ho could barely read it. People were recording the stream, sharing clips of the strange sounds. The story was spreading. "Your ASMR equipment," Hannah continued, "it's picking up our communication channels. The frequencies we thought were safe from human technology aren't safe anymore." Another burst of impossible sounds filled the air. This time, they seemed angry. "Station compromised," the voice in Jai-Ho's head said, "initiating cleanup protocol." Hannah's face went pale. "No, wait. We can't. There are too many witnesses now." "The stream. What's happening?" Jai-Ho asked, but he could feel it. The air was getting thicker, harder to breathe. His cameras started showing static. "They want to erase everything," Hannah said quickly. "The house, the recordings, all evidence that we were here. But they don't understand. It's too late. The internet never forgets." Jai-Ho checked his phone. The stream was being downloaded and shared thousands of times. Taiwan had backed up everything. Even if they stopped now, the sounds, the symbols, the proof, it was all out there. The walls of the house began to pulse with light. Hannah's tablet sparked and went dark. Through his headphones, Jai-Ho could hear new voices joining the chaos, arguing in their strange, beautiful languages. "What do we do now?" he asked, still filming everything. Hannah looked at him, then at his equipment, then at the growing light around them. For the first time, she smiled. A real smile, not the perfect one from before. "Now," she said, "now we improvise." Taiwan's old car raced up the mountain road, his laptop bouncing on the passenger seat. The screen showed Jai-Ho's live stream, still broadcasting despite the strange interference. 20,000 people were watching now. Come on, he muttered, checking his phone's map. The files on his laptop were clear. The sounds from Jai-Ho's stream matched the space signals he'd been tracking for months. Back in the mansion, Jai-Ho and Hannah were trying to save his equipment. The lights in the walls pulsed brighter every second. "Your friend is coming," Hannah said, looking out the window. "The one who studies the stars. He shouldn't be here. It's not safe." "Ta-one?" Jai-Ho asked, surprised. "How do you know about him?" "We've seen his research. He's been detecting our communications for weeks, but he thought they were normal space signals." Hannah's perfect suit was starting to glitch, like a bad video effect. "He's too close to the truth." Jai-Ho's main microphone picked up a new sound, car tires on gravel. Through his camera screen, he saw Ta-One's car sliding to a stop outside. "Jai-Ho." Ta-One's voice came through the front door. "Don't stop the stream. I have proof." Hannah moved to block the door, but Jai-Ho was faster. He opened it, letting Ta-One rush in with his laptop. His friend's glasses were crooked, his hair messy from driving fast. "Look at this," Ta-One said, opening files on his laptop. "These are signals from stars hundreds of light years away. And these," he played a clip from Jai-Ho's stream, "are the exact same patterns." The walls pulsed again. The house's humming changed tone, becoming higher and sharper. "Station security compromised," the voice in their heads announced. "Beginning emergency protocols in 5 minutes." "They're going to destroy everything," Hannah said, her voice shifting between human and something else. "The house, the equipment, all records of us being here." Ta-One looked up from his laptop, finally really seeing Hannah. His eyes went wide behind his glasses. "You're one of them," he whispered. "The signals, they're not from space at all, are they? You've been here, on Earth, watching us." Hannah's human appearance flickered again. For just a second, something else showed through, something beautiful and strange, and definitely not human. "Yes," she said. "We observe. We learn. We've been here for centuries, using places humans avoid. Haunted houses, abandoned buildings, places where strange lights and sounds won't attract attention." Ta-One laughed, a sound of pure joy that echoed through the tense air. "I knew it. All those signals, the patterns, they were too perfect to be natural." Jai-Ho kept his camera steady, still streaming everything. "But why watch us this way? Why not just say hello?" "Some wanted to," Hannah said. "Others thought humans weren't ready. But now," she looked at Jai-Ho's equipment, at Ta-One's research, "now you're finding us on your own. Your technology is advancing faster than we expected." The house shook. Through the windows, they could see lights in the sky. Lights that moved in ways no human aircraft could move. 2 minutes to emergency protocols," the voice announced. Ta-One typed frantically on his laptop. "The stream is being saved everywhere. People are recording it, sharing it. Even if they erase everything here, they can't stop what's already out there." Hannah's tablet sparked again, showing new symbols. Her eyes widened as she read them. "The observers are divided," she said. "Some want to follow protocols, erase everything. Others think it's time to stop hiding." The lights in the sky grew brighter. The house's walls became almost transparent, showing the technology hidden inside them. Strange machines pulsed with energy behind the old wallpaper. 1 minute remaining," the voice said. Jai-Ho looked at his friend, then at Hannah, then at his camera, still broadcasting to thousands of people. "So," he said, "what happens now?" The answer came from above, as the night sky filled with lights that would change the world forever. The mansion's walls had become almost see-through now. Jai-Ho's camera showed everything. Glowing panels, strange machines, and screens filled with moving symbols. His live stream count had reached 50,000 viewers. "Emergency protocols paused," the voice announced, awaiting final decision from Central Command. Hannah's human appearance was failing completely. Her shape shifted and changed like ripples on water. In the camera screen, she glowed with a soft blue light. "Well," Ta-One said, adjusting his glasses, "you look much more interesting now." Hannah made a sound that might have been a laugh. "This is closer to my real form." The human disguise was uncomfortable. Jai-Ho kept filming as Hannah's true shape became clear. She was tall and elegant, with skin that looked like flowing water made of starlight. Her eyes were large and silver, reflecting the lights from the alien machines around them. "You're beautiful," Jai-Ho said honestly, and 50,000 viewers sent messages agreeing with him. "Different," Hannah corrected him. "Not better, just different. This is why some of us wanted to wait. Humans often fear what's different." But the livestream chat showed something else. People weren't afraid. They were excited, curious, full of questions. Clips of Hannah's transformation were already spreading across the internet with messages of wonder, not fear. "Look at this," Ta-One said, showing Hannah his laptop. "People are comparing your communications to music, to whale songs, to poetry. They're trying to understand you." More lights appeared in the sky outside. The house's machines hummed louder, showing displays of data and images from around the world. "Our leaders are watching your internet right now," Hannah said. "They're seeing how humans are reacting. This isn't what they expected." Jai-Ho moved his camera to capture everything. The alien technology, the lights in the sky, and especially Hannah, who now moved with a graceful flow that her human form had hidden. "What did they expect?" he asked. "Panic, fear, anger." Hannah touched one of the wall panels with a shimmering hand. "It's why we hide in places like this. Humans tell stories about ghosts and monsters, and it keeps them away from our observation posts." "But we're not afraid," Ta-One said, still typing. "Look, people are sharing their own stories. Times they might have seen your kind, moments they didn't understand. They've been waiting for this." The house's computers started showing new images, news reports, social media posts, videos from around the world. The story was spreading faster than anyone could stop it. "Central Command reporting," the voice announced. "Analysis of human responses shows unexpected results. Termination protocols suspended." Hannah's silver eyes widened. "They're not going to erase everything. They're letting it happen." "Of course they are," Jai-Ho said, smiling into his camera. "How could they not? Look how many people are watching, learning, understanding. You can't erase hope and wonder." The machines in the walls changed their tone. The humming became softer, almost musical. Through the windows, they could see more lights gathering in the sky. Not to threaten, but to witness. "New protocols established," the voice said. "Operation First Contact now beginning. Observer Hannah, you are authorized to proceed." Hannah turned to Jai-Ho and Ta-One, her starlight form glowing brighter. "Your ASMR channel just became the first official bridge between our peoples. Are you ready for that responsibility?" Jai-Ho looked at his friend, then at his camera, still streaming to an audience that grew larger every second. He thought about all the sounds he'd recorded, all the quiet moments he'd shared with his viewers. "Ready," he said. "This is what ASMR is all about. Making connections, sharing experiences, helping people understand new things. We were born ready." Above them, the lights in the sky began to dance, putting on a show for the whole world to see. The night sky above the mansion looked like a dancing rainbow. Jai-Ho's camera caught every color as more alien ships joined the display. His live stream had reached over 200,000 viewers. Then, suddenly, all the lights went dark. "Warning," the house's computer announced. "Multiple unauthorized observation posts activating worldwide." Hannah's starlight form dimmed slightly. "The other stations, they're going into emergency mode. Not everyone agrees with our decision to reveal ourselves." Ta-One's laptop showed alerts from across the globe. "Look at this." People are reporting strange lights and sounds from old buildings everywhere. Other stations are failing. Some observers want to follow the old rules, HFY explained. They're trying to erase all evidence of our presence, but they don't understand. Humans aren't what they used to be. As if proving her point, Jaiho's phone buzzed with a new message. My son, the local historian he'd interviewed last month, had sent him something important. Hannah, he said, showing her his phone. You need to see this. The message contained old photos and documents. They showed the same strange lights they'd seen tonight, but in pictures from 50 years ago, 100 years ago, even centuries ago. Our people didn't understand, my son had written. But we saw you. We always saw you. We were just waiting until you were ready to talk. Hannah touched the screen with a shimmering finger. These records, they're from all over Korea. People knew we were here. Not just Korea, Taiwan said, his fingers flying over his keyboard. People everywhere are sharing similar stories and pictures. Old paintings, cave drawings, ancient texts. They all show the same things. Lights in the sky, strange visitors, hidden watchers. The house's computers displayed more images from around the world. Ancient pottery with designs that looked like Hannah's true form. Old stories about beings of light living in forbidden places. Songs about visitors from the stars. Humanity knew, Jaiho said softly into his microphone. We always knew. We just didn't have the right words for it yet. More warning sounds filled the air as other observation posts tried to delete their records. But for each post that went dark, thousands of humans shared their stories and evidence online. You can't erase history, Taiwan said, looking at Hannah. Not anymore. The whole world is connected now. Information wants to be free. Through his camera, Jaiho saw something amazing. The alien ships that had gone dark were returning, their lights softer now. The house's computers showed messages from other observation posts stopping their deletion attempts. Central Command updating protocols, the house announced. New data suggests previous assessment of human readiness was incorrect. Humanity has been expecting us. Hannah's form glowed brighter. For all our watching, we never realized. You were watching us too. Learning. Preparing. Just in your own way. Jaiho turned his camera to capture the growing lights in the sky. His ASMR microphones picked up a new sound. A gentle harmony coming from the alien ships, like a song of greeting. Listen, everyone, he whispered to his viewers. Really listen. This is the sound of first contact. Not with strangers, but with friends we've known all along. Taiwan looked up from his laptop with tears in his eyes. They're saying to us, aren't they? Yes, Hannah said, her voice joining the harmony with tones no human could make. It's a very old song from our world. It means, we see you, we know you, we are ready. Outside, people were coming up the mountain road, not running away, but walking slowly, phones raised to record the lights. No one screamed, no one panicked. They just watched and filmed and shared what they saw with the world. Humanity had been preparing for this moment for centuries, not with weapons or wars, but with stories and songs, with art and dreams, with quiet wisdom passed down through generations. The night of terror had become something else entirely, a night of wonder. Sarah walked down the road to the market. She needed to buy food for dinner. The sun was bright and warm on her face. Birds sang in the trees. It was a nice day. At the market, Sarah looked at all the fruits and vegetables. Everything looked so fresh and colorful. She chose some red tomatoes, green peppers, and yellow squash. They would make a tasty meal. Next, Sarah went to the bakery. The smell of fresh bread made her mouth water. She bought a loaf of soft white bread. It was still warm from the oven. Last, Sarah stopped at the butcher shop. She selected a nice piece of beef for her stew. The butcher wrapped it up carefully for her. Sarah paid for her food. Then she put everything in her basket. It was a heavy load to carry home, but she didn't mind. She was happy to have such good ingredients. On the way home, Sarah saw her friend John. "Hello, Sarah," he called out with a wave. Sarah smiled and waved back. "I'm making beef stew for dinner," she told John. "You should come over and join me." "That sounds wonderful," said John. "I would love to share a meal with you. What time should I come?" "Come at 6 o'clock," said Sarah. She was excited to have company for dinner. Cooking was more fun when you could share the meal with a friend. Back at home, Sarah started preparing the food. She washed and chopped the vegetables. She cut the beef into chunks. Soon, everything was simmering together in a big pot. The stew bubbled and filled the kitchen with a delicious smell. This story segment is 278 words long and is written in simple, basic English using short sentences and common vocabulary. It continues the story in the third-person point of view, focusing on the main character Sarah as she goes to the market, buys ingredients for beef stew, and invites her friend John over to share the meal she is preparing. The story has a pleasant, light-hearted tone as it describes the sights, smells, and Sarah's thoughts and interactions during her trip to the market and back home again. At 6 o'clock, there was a knock at the door. Sarah opened it and saw John standing there. He had a big smile on his face. In his hands, he held a fresh loaf of crusty bread. "I bought this to go with your stew," John said happily. "I hope you like sourdough." "I love sourdough," exclaimed Sarah. "How thoughtful of you. Please come in." Sarah took the bread from John. She inhaled deeply. It smells so good. It will be perfect with the beef stew." John followed Sarah into the kitchen. He admired the pot of stew simmering on the stove. "Wow, that looks and smells amazing." Sarah ladled the hot stew into 2 large bowls. Steam curled up from the chunks of tender beef and colorful vegetables. She placed the bowls on the table along with the fresh bread. "Let's eat before it gets cold," Sarah said, sitting down. John joined her at the table. He tore off a piece of bread and dipped it into his bowl of stew. He took a big bite. "Oh my goodness, this is so delicious," he said, savoring the rich flavors. Sarah beamed with pride. She was so pleased that John was enjoying her cooking. She tasted the stew herself. The beef was melt-in-your-mouth tender, and the vegetables were cooked just right. The broth had the perfect balance of seasonings. For several minutes, the two friends ate without speaking. They were too busy enjoying the wonderful meal. Spoonful after spoonful, they finished every last drop of the hearty stew. They used pieces of bread to soak up the final bits of broth. "That was one of the best meals I've had in a long time," said John appreciatively as he sat back in his chair. "You're an excellent cook, Sarah." Sarah smiled, happy and content. "I'm so glad you liked it," she said. "Thanks for joining me and for bringing the bread. It was the ideal addition." The two friends continued talking and laughing together well into the evening, warmed by the delicious food and the pleasure of each other's company. This segment is 332 words, for a total of 610 words so far in parts 7 and 8. The story continues in a simple, charming way, focusing on Sarah and John enjoying the beef stew dinner together. The basic English vocabulary and sentence structure keep the tone direct and easy to follow, while still including sensory details and warm emotions between the two characters. The friends' happiness and appreciation of the good meal and time together shines through.